let's impact some today. I think we're gonna do a great job.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Modern Moments, where I share a little bit of some tidbits, some lessons I've learned in life, and even some lessons that we've had on the podcast. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you can get a new episode of these Modern Moments each and every single week. And make sure to check out the Modern Man podcast as well. Today, I want to talk about self-confidence, and it's something that I think works as the foundation for just about everything we do. With a higher degree of self-confidence, I think we have higher effectiveness in an activity, which will yield better results. So when it comes to living life, I think it's important for us to have positive self-confidence in everything that we do. And it's something that I've worked on. I think we all should work on, because in terms of understanding what self-confidence is, it's simply put just a positive view of oneself. Like, do you like who you see in the mirror? I remember a time where I wasn't always a big fan of who I saw in the mirror, maybe because I was leaning too much into vices, or maybe I wasn't following up on the things I said I would do, and I had very low self-confidence because I didn't believe in myself. Well, having a positive self-confidence completely changes the game, and not just how we show up, but how we act. When we understand that we have a positive view of ourselves, we understand that we will operate better. So we need to first cultivate that. And your question today is probably, okay, how do we do that? For me, it started with keeping promises to ourselves, and also understanding that when we could depend on ourselves for the things that we want in life, we better have confidence for what we could provide for others. So what did it start with? For me, it was getting off the snooze button. Waking up early in the morning, my alarm goes off at about 2:20. Not only do I want to squeeze every second of sleep I can up until that point, but I also want to make sure that my body is trained that 2:20, when it's time to wake up, we wake up automatically. Now, on the weekends, I'm leisure. I like to sleep in, but whenever I have an alarm set for something, I like to wake up immediately. Don't hit the snooze button. Don't negotiate with myself, and get right to the action at hand, which is getting my day started. That starts my day off with a win. When I string enough of those wins together, that builds the self-confidence muscle, which also will allow me to keep the promises that I make for other things. Like, I'll go to the gym at 6 a.m. after I wake up at 5:30. Because I wake up at 5:30, no negotiations, I'm more inclined to go to the gym at 6 a.m. as opposed to sleeping through it, because I set my snooze button for 2 times. It's not until 6:50 or 5:50 that I'm waking up. So stringing along those wins, stacking on those promises to yourself and keeping them, is going to help cultivate a little bit more of that self-confidence. When you say, hey, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow at 7 o'clock, you actually go. Or, hey, I might put something off until tomorrow, but when I say I'm going to do it, I'm actually going to do it. The reason we procrastinate is because we are really just continuing to break promises with ourselves, and that slowly diminishes our self-confidence. So make sure you start keeping those promises to yourself. In order to do this, you're probably going to have to overcome self-doubt at some point. When you keep a promise to yourself of wanting to go to the gym tomorrow, 5 o'clock after work, you might get to 4:30, look at that gym bag, and maybe think to yourself, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe the gym's not for me. That is when the time to show up is going to be most important and most pivotal. That's going to be the moments in which you are crafting your new self. That's going to be where you say yes instead of no. That's where you're going to find the reason instead of the excuse. That's where you're going to hone in with your why versus honing in with anything that you want to substitute that pain of going to the gym with. It is important to identify that first you make the promises to yourself, and then in the moment to pay that check, in the moment to cash that check, you need to have that deposit already within the bank and be ready to pay it, because that is also going to be how you overcome self-doubt and increase your self-confidence. By building upon these, you'll find yourself to be more dependable upon yourself, which will in essence make you more dependable on others, which will help play into everything that you do in life and help you build self-confidence. I found that to be true for how I've operated. I found that to be true for how I operate with things at work, things in my marriage, things in my in the gym, in my business, everywhere. When I operate confidently, I tend to yield better and more effective results. So I hope this was helpful, guys. If it was, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button for a new episode each and every single week. Thanks for rocking with me through these modern moments as we continue to share tidbits on how we can maybe improve ourselves. And of course, make sure you leave a rating on the podcast to let us know how we're doing. And I hope to see you guys again next week. Go out there and be some modern men.